All right, so I am back at Louis' graveyard for Facebook Marketplace purchases. Not really getting into anything too crazy today. I got some bushings for my trailing arms. Um, I'm not gonna be installing those today. Um, it's another one of those things where I have to drive the car home. So I really don't want to get into a project that makes the car undrivable, because if I get to a point where I'm having a bad time and I just want to call it a day, I, I can't, because I need to finish that project so I can go home. So the goal for today, we've been collecting, and by we I mean Louis has been collecting. Oh, there goes that ball joint. No big deal. No biggie. Whoops. It just fell right out of the box. All good. But Louis has been collecting parts. I'll show you a little bit. He bought a turbo manifold for E36, and it came with an M52, a head gasket, some lines. One, so that's for the Vanos, that's for the turbo. So it came with the head gasket. I bought the assembly lube. Came with head studs. We pulled the head off. It was a complete motor. We pulled the head off of it. I'm walking around my stack of tires. Where even is the head for that motor? I see the cams and the cam trays for it. Where is the head for that motor? I thought I moved it over here. You know, near the block that it's going on. I don't know. See, there's the cans and the cam trays under the box right there. So I know those are for that motor. Where's the other head? There's a head right here. This head is for an S50. And the only reason I can tell that is because it's much, much cleaner than the head that came off of the M52. Where did the head go? In this back room? What is going on here, dude? That's a really weird spot for it. So I found it. I don't know why. I don't know why it's in the back room on a chair, but I found it, I guess. I don't know anymore. All right. So that whole time I was wrong. Um, I just wanted to double check a little bit before I started, bolting that head down to that block. And let me show you guys what I found. Because, I mean, it's kind of common BMW knowledge, but it's good to know. I'll just leave it at that. So this head that I thought was the M52 head, well, let's see if I can turn it up a little bit here, because it is actually, it's pretty clean. And when I look at the exhaust side, I was like, oh, it's actually pretty dirty. So this has to be the M52 head, because the M52 head was much dirtier when we took it apart. Now, obviously, it's been to the machine shop. It's been cleaned. It's been pressure tested. It's all of that has been done. It's good. It's been resurfaced. It's ready to go back on a block. But we had two done at the same time, and we didn't mark them or anything to to know which one is which. I went on one of the heads was in much better condition. After leaving the machine shop, they kind of look like they're similar. So this one is actually from the S50, and they look exactly identical, but there are some things to look out for. So if you look on the back of the head, you see all of the casing numbers. 95 means this is from 95. 95 is when we got the S50. We didn't get an M52 until 96, when the 328 came out. So 95 couldn't be an M52. Also, SA is going to be an M head. It's not going to be an M52 head. It's going to be an S50 head. I also noticed this port for the coolant is open. The motor that this came off of was a rally car that had, actually, did it have heat? I don't remember if it had heat or not, but this had an outlet on it, and there was a hose there. Now the M52 head, this motor, as you can see, it's got a bung here for an oil drain. It's got aftermarket lines on it. So that guy we got that motor from was getting that motor ready for a turbo build. He bought a whole turbo kit, turbo wastegate, head studs, everything you need to turbo an E36, like the manifold and everything. So we bought that whole kit from this guy, including that motor. So that motor is an M52. And if you look at the back of the head on an M52, you look at the casting, there's no S. There's no S here. So that's one part of it. And then you got this one down here that says 98. And in 98 it would have come out of a 328. But then you look at this port, and you see this port has a block off plate on it. Because this guy was getting this motor ready for boost, I never took that plate off, and this motor went to the machine shop like that. So he did a great job cleaning it, because just looking at the inside of it, I thought it was the S50 motor. And looking at the side of it, I thought it was the S50 motor. Basically, just the difference is in the casting on the head. So I just wanted to keep the M casting with the M bottom end, just in case we ever go to sell that motor, that we are able to prove that, yes, look at this head belongs on this bottom end. And then another thing to look for when you're, obviously you're not going to be able to see this when you're purchasing a car, but after you've purchased the car, if you're ever wondering like, hey, is this the original motor in the car? Most of the time they will have some sort of stamp or something on the back of the motor that will have the VIN. So on here, and actually it doesn't look like it's on this one, but most of the time you'll be able to find the VIN on the back of the motor. And then another thing to look for, if you're unsure of what the motor is, I don't have a light. Oh well, you don't get to know. There's down here by the motor mount, there is a tag. It's not a tag, it's more like, machining that tells you what the block is, whether it be a 2.5 or a 2.8 or a 3.0 or a 3.2 or whatnot. So, but yeah, I'm glad I checked that. So this is the M52 head, and that is the S50 head. So this one can go back into the back room. So I guess it makes sense that one was in the back room. I guess it makes sense. I'll give it that it made sense to put the S50 in the back room, because the S50 block has not been prepped for the head, nor is it even accessible right now. The S50 is actually locked away in a trailer at the moment, so until we make room to get all the junk out of the trailer and somewhere else, that S50 head ain't going nowhere. But yeah, I'm gonna go real slow with this. I'm not in any rush to get this together. This motor is actually not even it's not even going in anything at the moment. So we're actually gonna end up using the S50 first. Only because Louis brings up a good point, right? We're building this E36 for him to drive, and he's going to be the one driving it. But he's never even, well, that's a lie. Can't say he's never. He's only driven an E36 one time. And that's just at his compound. In our little pad out here. That's the only place he's ever driven an E36. So he liked the way it felt, but he's never driven one with any real power, and he's never actually like drifted one at the track. So we all came together and decided that it's probably for the best if, instead of throwing him in an E36 that makes like almost 400 horsepower, should probably throw him in one that makes like 200 horsepower first. So before we do the turbo M52, we are going to do the naturally aspirated S50. But we just got that head back from the machine shop, and this block is just sitting here on this motor stand. So what we want to do is kind of condense a little bit make it more storable, because yeah, we can obviously store a you know, a short block and a head separately, but then we got to worry about stuff like this, where like we're, you know, gonna have like rust start to form here and in the cylinder walls and stuff like that. So you kind of have to maintain it as it's being stored. Otherwise you go, you know, to grab it out of storage and you end up with something that is not usable. So we're gonna put it together, make sure it's timed and do all that, make sure it rotates good, and then it's going to be ready. It'll be a spare motor whenever either Louis or I or someone else needs a motor. We have a good motor, freshly built, ready to go, 0 miles on it. Well, 0 miles on the head gasket. Obviously, the long block is used, but it's good. There's not like any play with any of the pistons. Everything's solid. It's good. So we just have to, I want to clean this up real good. I want to blow out all the bolt holes, make sure there's no liquids or anything in any of the bolt holes. And then I'll get started on putting in the head studs. I need to find my book. That's what I need to find. I need to find my books so that I can read the procedure. Because although I've done this before, it's not something that I do often by any means. It's actually not even something that I've done by myself. Sorry, I'm just looking for my books. What did I do with my books? Where did my books go? I found my books. So this is something I'd recommend to anybody who has a BMW. Is the BMW 3 Series Service Manual by Bentley Publishers. You can get them in soft or hardcover, but they have everything that you could possibly need to know about your E36. Well, that's the ECU that I run in my car. So we're going to come in here to the cylinder head and valve train, because we need to know cylinder head removal and installation. So this is the removal up to here, and then the installation for a 6-cylinder engine. Now, the only thing that we are going to do differently with this motor is with the head studs, because we are not using the torque to yield head bolts that come factory with this motor. So we will use, we'll follow the stages of the torques of the ARP studs, but we will follow them in this sequence. So I'll just leave this open right here because this is where I need it. Yeah. Cool. I've actually never even opened that book and looked at what's inside of it. It came in a car that I parted out, but I figure it can't hurt to have it because it's, I mean, if there's not the information in this one, it's got to be in that one. So we got this all prepped. These are the dowels for it. I think they're for this one and not for the S50. Again, I don't remember. Everything was taken apart so long ago that it's all a little bit foreign to me at this point. But I don't think I'm going to do the cam installation today. I think today is going to be strictly installing the head. Bear with me while I put the head down and somewhere safe and not destroy it, but closer. So I think today is just going to be a matter of doing the head gasket, putting the head on, and putting on the head studs and torquing the head studs. Again, there's no rush to get this motor together. We're not trying to get it in a car or anything. We just want to close it up so that we can store it a lot easier and safer for the motor for when the time comes that somebody needs it. So let me go grab some air so I can blow out these holes, make sure there's no air. That's all we want in there, in the holes, is air. What the I was gonna say, it might bite me in the ass that I didn't check to see if it's attached to anything outside before I pull it in, but I think we're all right. I think we're okay. Yeah, cool, we made it. We're gonna find that air gun. So I can blow out these holes. Cool. That should be good. So now I can get, I'm just gonna set you guys up somewhere. You don't need to be in my hand. Set you up over here so you can see my terrible work area. I could probably drag it out into the middle, but whatever, it'll be fine. Is that good? Is that good? Are we gonna stay there? We'll see. So first things first, head gasket. I kind of wish I got some copper spray for it, but it should be all right. It's just like OEM stuff, you know. It's not anything crazy. We're not gonna be throwing crazy boost at it or anything like that, so it should be fairly simple. You get this in the box, you follow this, and you don't have any problems. The only thing that I will say is 75 foot-pounds, you can go up to like 80 or 85 foot-pounds. But that's it. That's the only difference in the instructions. One, inspect all hardware prior to installation. You shouldn't have any problems. You should be checking it before you install it. The washers go on the head dry. You want to lubricate the stud threads and you want to loosen the bottom of the nut. You install them and you tighten them hand tight. Once they're all hand tight, then you start going through your torque sequence. It's always so funny to me when people get like hardware like this and have issues installing it when literally all of the information is given to you. They give you everything you need to know. All of the questions that I see people asking online and, oh, what do I do and how do I do it and what do I and blah, 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 blah. They give you the instructions. Just the piece of paper with all this stuff on it that comes in the box. If you read it, it actually tells you exactly what you need to know. And then you don't have to go on the internet and look like an idiot because you can't read instructions. If you ask what to do to install these on a BMW motor, I'm literally going to go to the ARP website and link you to this page. If you can't read this, then why are you going to listen to me? And don't even get me started. Woo! All right. So, first thing is first. These all need to be wiped dry of any of the oils from packaging. These can be, they want you to put the head on first and then thread these in, but I'm not gonna do that. So they have a hex head, but it's only to make it easier. You don't put any torque on these, you just thread them in until they bottom out. That's it. No special 5 Newton meters, 10 whatever, blah 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 blah. Just hand tight. That's it. And it says nothing about lubricating this end. So why would you ever think about putting lubrication on an end when they don't tell you to put lubrication on that end? And it just, some of the stuff that people ask really blows my mind. It says hand tight, so put it hand tight. Why are you questioning it? They're the ones who manufactured it. They're the ones who have to be liable when it doesn't work. Why not just do what they recommend? Yeah, there was a little bit of oil in that one. Get Get out of there, oil. We don't want you. We don't need lubrication down there. Yeah, look at that. I need the dowels. Thankfully, I didn't put the studs in those holes yet. All right, they're all bottomed out, not torqued. No way. So I actually might not be doing this because lubricate the stud threads and bottom of the nuts with ARP Ultra Torque Fastener Assembly Lubricant. You know what didn't come in this box? Any lubricant whatsoever. Now, I'm not even going to waste my time with looking around the shop to see if they have any ARP Ultra Lubricant. I may stop at O'Reilly's on the way home. O'Reilly's usually has a lot of stuff like that, but I'm kind of stuck here for the night. I mean, I can put the head on, but I can't fasten it down. So that's probably what I'll do, and then I'll probably just call it a night from there. Damn, that's so annoying. Why would they do that? Why would they sell you a product and not? That's wild. It even says right on the back of it, it says, included in this kit is a packet of ARP Ultra Torque Fastener Assembly Lube. It is specially formulated to eliminate preload scatter. Blah, 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 blah. But there's none in here. Maybe... this is what was in the box. Nope, not in there. It was in this box. Here's the nuts. There's no tube of lube in there. This is for turbo water lines. These are for the wastegate. This is for the wastegate. These are for the wastegate. Got washers. We got the instructions, but we got no lube. So the guy we bought it from rented a shop with a guy who does a lot of builds. So I'd imagine that they took it out. So that sucks. That kind of leaves us standing still for now, but I'm gonna try to just at least put the head on, so that way there's not just a head floating around in the shop somewhere. So gotta get some lube, and we should be good to go. Let me show you my little trick. Just want to give this a little bit of a rub down, you know. Wow, he took almost nothing off this motor. That's cool. That means probably didn't even need to go, but. Okay. So you rest the head. You can rest the head on the motor mount. Because if you have to fish the chain out of the bottom end, you're going to have a bad time. You're going to have a bad time. Luckily, it's right there. I already have the tool out to grab it. But you don't want to drop it down there at all. Whew. Got my heart racing there. We are, all the head studs are in. Just getting it down onto the dowels. Cool, head's seated. Head is seated. I just need to get lube for the hardware now. I suppose I could clean all the washers and put the washers in place, but that's kind of dangerous because if it gets moved, you might have a problem. That's very annoying. Oh well.